Hi friends, how are you? I am back because I have read some more books to tell you about. Books with Bethany, woo! I'm really weird. Anyway, so the books that I have read are Me Before You and the sequel After You by Jojo Moyes is how I'm guessing you say it, or Moyes, as I would say it because I have problems. But anyway, so this book, the Me Before You, got a bit of attention because it was a movie that came out this summer, starring some super popular people. I mean, I was interested in seeing the movie just because of the characters in it. I mean, it's the mother of dragons from Game of Thrones and Finnick from Hunger Games, so I'm in. But then I started seeing some of the reviews surrounding the movie and talking about the book, and so that made me a little bit curious to read the book. And I do in general like to read the book before I see the movie. Anyway, so let me just give you, and let me just say, there will probably be some spoilers, but if you haven't been able to guess what happens in this movie, you know, then you're fooling yourself or whatever. Sort it out. Or I love how Pixie always says, have a word with yourself. She's my favorite anyway. Okay, so the book, get up with it, Bethany. So Me Before You, the idea behind this book is that the main character, Will, he has a accident to where he is paralyzed from the neck down. And the idea behind the book is that he wants to kill himself, and he has agreed with his parents or whatnot to have 6 months. He'll give them 6 months. And during that time, his parents hire Louisa, the female character, to be his companion. And so she goes about planning all these outings and wanting to make him live again. And spoiler, he kills himself anyway. And so the problems that folks are having with that is that this book and this movie are really romanticizing suicide and death. I mean, they're touting this movie as like, oh, the most romantic movie of the summer. And let me just say, there's nothing romantic about suicide at all. And so a lot of the backlash too surrounding the movie is that they have, which is super popular and common in Hollywood, is they have these able-bodied folks portraying disabled bodies in the movies and things. So why don't you just, I'm sure that there are people in wheelchairs who are actors, like legitimate people. They don't have to get these able-bodied actors pretending. So that's problematic. And the thought that you're better off being dead than being in a wheelchair is problematic. But for me, the real issues with the book are that it is being thought of as this great romance, and it's really not. There's nothing romantic about killing yourself. Like, let's just get that clear. It's not. I saw a really great quote that says, suicide does not end the pain. It just transfers that pain to someone else, which is what happened. But if you can overlook the fact that this book is, I don't want to say promoting suicide, or it's just romanticizes it, makes it sound like it's this great solution and they somehow find love together. The book is enjoyable, and I'm sure the movie is very funny because there are some very funny parts to it. The main character, Louisa, the female character, number one, it's British, and so the British humor I think is great. I always enjoy reading books written by British authors. Hence I like Sophia Kinsella quite a bit because I read the books in my brain in a British accent, which is fun for me. But it is funny. I mean, she's kind of like a mished up girl trying to, you know, she's an interesting character herself. And so the story is fine in that sense. It is entertaining, but you can't really get past the point of the book. I mean, is that, like, even reading the back, it says, the author has written the perfect modern love story. You will be astonished at what you feel and what you hope for when you are forced to face the possibility of your own dreams. It's that good. Read it now. No, I mean, what are they talking about? What dreams? That you fall in love with someone who kills himself? You know, at what you feel for and what you hope for when you're faced. You will be astonished at what you feel and what you hope for when you are forced to face the possibility of your own dreams. I don't know what book that person read, but that's not quite what happened in this book. So yeah, in the end he kills himself. That's not romantic. That's not a gesture of love. You know, I don't know. That's not to say my thoughts on assisted suicide or whatever. You know, I do think that there is a time and a place where that's fine. But the whole pretense of this book is that she's meeting him, she falls in love with him, and she helps him die. That's not romantic. Sorry. It's just not. So, okay. I bought the books together because I thought, all right, let's, you know, I'm all in on stuff. So After You. Now this book, I would love to say that it was better, but it was just bad in other ways. So it's a continuation of the story of Louisa. But this book was chocked full of every stereotypical thing or dramatic event that you could put in a book ever. Number one, so Louisa falls off of a roof. So then, you know, within the first 10 pages of the book, so I thought, great, so now is she in a wheelchair and now she's going to show everybody how you can do it up that way? That was ridiculous. There's like a mysterious long lost love child. There was a gunshot incident. There was, you know, like this hint of maybe she's going to run away and live in New York. I mean, it was so many of those like kitschy things that it's like, oh, that's cool. I've seen that in 100 movies. But there were all of them into one book. You know, I mean, she goes to this like grief management group and she talks about kind of the antics of the folks there. So there were so many horrible stereotypes in this book that I really just, I could not. You know, multiple times during this book, I thought, I just want to stop reading it. I don't like it. But I had come so far, you know, I'd already kind of committed to this book and much less I'd read this one before, so I wanted to see what happened. You know, just, this book exhausted me trying to read it with like, you know, sometimes I would open it and I'd be like, really, that's happening now? Really? But I will say there is one book line in this book that really redeems them both, where Louisa says that yes, she loved Will, you know, Killy McKillerface, but she realized that he didn't love her enough to not want to hurt her with his actions. Amen, it's over. That's all you needed to say for the 2 books. All you needed to say. So, I don't know. I mean, this was okay. This too was very funny. There are like interesting anecdotes and like things that are humorous about it, like the other one. And the character Louisa, she's very likable. Excuse me. But, you know, like, it's a pass on these 2 books. This is not romantic. This was romantic because she actually does have a love interest that's quite positive. But they even had this super tacky grief ending ceremony where they released balloons and I don't know, maybe I'm just too much of, maybe I'm too hardened for that kind of stuff, but really pass on that. But yes, I don't know. I didn't hate reading the book. Well, sometimes I hated reading this one, but I did it. I probably won't see the movie. Maybe if it's on Netflix in a couple years, I'll check it out. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Suicide is not romantic. Stop making it romantic. That's not a thing. But yeah. All right, so now that I am before and after these books, I can move on to my next thing. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed my thoughts on these books. Let me know what you think, and subscribe if you want to see more of my face talking about many a thing, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.